Is your gamer score looking a little bit meager? Are you looking to rack up some serious G's and fast? Well, hell, there are some titles that are rich in quick and easy achievements, and they just so happen to be really fun games too. So sit down, I'm going to tell you all about them. First up, the Big City, you know, that one with a little kitty in it. It is a great place to grab Chivos, and you could grab Little Kitty Big City's full 1000 G score in around 5 hours, I'd say. A day one addition to Game Pass, this adorable open world game has already been checked out by over 1 million Game Pass members, proving that everybody really does want to be a cat. The great thing as well is that you'll scoop up most of the achievements just by barreling around, talking to other animals that you meet, and just generally making a bit of a nuisance of yourself, which is pretty much what you were planning to do anyway, right? The most difficult one to get, I have to say, is arguably the local celebrity one, in which you get for having your photo taken 20 times. To do this, you're going to have to look for a human holding a phone, meow at them with a Y button incessantly, or just wait for them to take a photo. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but either way, you're going to grab it in no time, I promise. Ravenlock is a dark fairy tale adventure featuring distinctive voxel graphics and some delightfully smashy combat. Racking up the full 1000 G in this should take you about 5 hours here as well. The story involves a young girl who falls through a looking glass into a world of white rabbits and cruel-hearted queens. You might have heard of it before, and it is a real wonderland, especially for achievement hunters. You could grab most of them just by playing through the story, and if you take extra care to wear every single hat you find and pick up any figurines you see along the way, you are going to be onto a winner. There are also achievements on offer for petting a dog and dancing, so if you can't pick up some Gamerscore here, there actually might be something deeply wrong and broken with you. I'm so sorry to tell you. Whether you were born with 10 green thumbs or you're a total gardening novice, you'll find achievements sprouting up all over the place in Boty Manor. In fact, 1000 Gs can be harvested here in just 2 or 3 hours. I'm not finished with the puns yet either. Available now on Game Pass, this laid-back puzzle game has you figuring out how to grow all sorts of exotic plants, while also exploring the manor itself to see what secrets you could uncover. So, if you're a decent problem solver and a proper nosy Parker, you're going to be absolutely set. The hardest one, I have to say, is probably the secret achievement to put a plant on every saucer in the flower room right at the beginning. But don't worry, they can all be the same ones. Don't do what I did and do it at the end, because you'll be running all over the place. Do it along the way. And if you don't take to it immediately, don't worry, because Boty Manor is the sort of game that really grows on you. Now I'm sorry. Star Wars Dark Forces is a great place to do some retro-style Chivo hunting with 1000 G up for grabs in about 6 or 7 hours. When Dark Forces came blasting back into our lives a few months ago, it gave Xbox Series X gamers the chance to check out this classic FPS in 4K and up to 120 frames per second. Honestly, it looks so good that I have to assume it's been frozen in carbonite all this time since 1995. Naturally, the remaster also adds in a selection of achievements for players to unlock while they're off picking off stormtroopers. Basically, the whole lot of them are story related too, so you could just dive straight into the action without worrying too much about missed collectibles or hidden objectives along the way. This means you can focus all your energies on the very, very not complicated matter of saving the galaxy. Now, if you're looking for a quick and easy game that's loaded with nutritious Chivos, you should definitely grab a plate full of Vena. It's great for dining and dashing too, giving players the chance to scoff down a full 1000 score in, I think it took me about an hour or two actually. Another recent Day 1 Game Pass addition, Vena is a cozy story-driven cooking game that tells the story about love, loss and cultural identity, all while whipping up some of the most delicious looking dishes you will ever find in any video game, a challenger. Just make sure you do read all the flavor text along the way and retry any recipes if you make a mistake, because there's a couple of particularly hard achievements that need you to do both those things. Handily, there's even a chapter select option if you need to go back and make sure there's no leftovers. Whether you're looking to enjoy a heart-wrenching story about the power of fraternal love, or you just want to add another 1000 G to your gamer score in a mere 3 hours, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons is well worth checking out. This ingenious third-person adventure game has you using your 2 analog sticks to control a pair of siblings as they embark on a fantastical adventure together. It's available now on Game Pass as well, so if you didn't check it out all the way back in 2013, well, you got no excuse, you definitely should now. Some of the achievement descriptions can be a little hard to decipher, I'll admit, but you can always just zip out of the game and into the YouTube app to find a quick guide. Hey, isn't that handy? Don't you just love modern gaming? Brothers also got a glitzy remake earlier this year, so we want to know, what other titles would you love to see rebuilt from the ground up? Sound off in the comments. Cocoon is a puzzle game about worlds within worlds within worlds. Unfortunately, some of those worlds also contain achievements, with another cool 1000G to be claimed in just 4 or 5 hours. This is another great game that came straight to Game Pass, love a trend there. This ingenious puzzler sees the player hopping in and out of those different worlds I was telling you about, each of which is contained within an orb that can be used to solve puzzles in other orb-based worlds. You still with me? I should hope so. Excellent. Because once you get the hang of it, grabbing Cocoon's 17 achievements is pretty simple. Play through the story, use the chapter select to dip back, and pick up any collectibles that you missed, and you're going to be done and dusted in no time. You can pick up Dgone's full 1000G Gamerscore in just 2 or 3 hours, and it's available now on Game Pass, just to make things even easier for you. This narrative-driven game takes players across the French countryside and into the childhood memories of a woman named Mimi, all of which is brought to life through the game's absolutely stunning hand-painted watercolours. The trickiest bit about grabbing all the achievements in Dgone is it's so darn pretty, you're going to be liable to forget what you were supposed to be doing at any given minute because you're distracted by everything. Kind of like what happens when you suddenly catch a glimpse of, I don't know, Glen Powell if he takes your fancy. It's the sort of game you can get really lost in, but fortunately the developers later added a chapter select option to help you pick up any letters, words or stickers that you might have missed the first time round. Yet another one of this year's Day 1 additions to Game Pass, Open Roads is a narrative-driven game about a mother-daughter duo who hit the road to learn more about their family, themselves, and, why not, each other. There are 1000 Gs to be scooped up along the way, and don't worry, this isn't one of those long, drawn-out road trips either. You can finish the game and double back to collect any achievements you missed all in a couple of hours. It makes for a seriously smooth ride thanks to the hand-drawn graphics, nostalgia-inducing soundtrack, and the glamorous voice cast. I mean, who wouldn't want to take a drive with Kerry Russell and Caitlin Dever? I certainly do. So, dig into any one of these titles and you're going to be sure to come out with a handful of Gamerscore. You can thank me in the comments. Bye-bye.